Reiss. Rowe makes a run ahead of him. Bergkamp suddenly changed pace through the centre. It's Bergkamp! That's magnificent! The move, and then this, which left Dabby's ass totally stranded.
Hello and welcome to ABW Preview from a Bergkamp Wonderland, the podcast that does one podcast every 6 weeks, whether you want it or not. With me this afternoon, this morning, tonight, or it depends wherever you are in the world. Or in fact, even if you are on this planet, if you are on another planet, please come and get us, save me from this madness. It's John. Hello, John.
Hello, mate. You all right? It's been a long time.
That sounds like the lyrics to a song.
Well, we had the World Cup break, and then I wasn't around for the Christmas games as I was moving. Not that people can tell because the room looks almost exactly the same because it is basically the same room.
It looks like you've just horizontally flipped your screen.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. I'm in exactly the same room, just one floor up from where I was. We did the laziest move in the world, but it's done now. Thank God.
Did you manage to get rid of all the bodies before you moved out?
Yes, got all the bodies. And the best thing as well is this room does not have a gun cabinet in it, so I could change where the bed was. So,
weren't you allowed to get rid of that?
No, it was never allowed to get rid of it. Had to keep it. Very strange.
You put all your Panini football stickers in it?
Yeah, obviously. Yeah,
lovely.
That was the first thing I moved.
Good. Yes. Did you have a good Christmas? Because I haven't spoken to you for, like you were saying, for ages.
I'll be honest, most of my Christmas was moving stuff up a flight of stairs. I didn't really do a lot other than we got the flat decorated and then started moving all the heavy stuff, sofas and beds and things like that. And then it was just slowly, because we had like a week and a half, I think, to move everything else. So it was slowly like move a computer or a TV and bits from the kitchen and whatever. So we had 2 flats running for 2-3 weeks. So it was just back and forth between there. Lots of moving and lots of cleaning. So I didn't really do much for Christmas, to be honest, mate.
Sad times. Did Santa bring you anything nice? That's the only thing we want to know.
Oh, what did I get for Christmas? Well, Santa via my parents did the amazing thing of some money, which paid for my lovely blackout blinds.
Your what?
Blackout blinds. I like blackout blinds because it blacks out all the light.
I thought you said black outlines. I thought, you wear makeup now?
No. What else did I get? I got lots of silly little presents from a certain American lady and some artwork from an American lady as well. She did some artwork for me, which is up on the wall. But she also got me a very cool thing, which I don't know if anyone listening really cares about, is the newest book from Junji Ito, who is a horror anime writer. Graphic novelist, whatever you want to call them.
I'm sure that's a niche, and there'll be somebody listening who knows it and is maybe even quite jealous of it all.
Yeah. So I was very excited and surprised to see that one in my presence. But yeah,
lovely. All right, let's say hello to some of the punters. First of all, we have Jim Eves. Afternoon, Jim. And then we have Mr. Boblex, who followed me. We did a raid last night for a bloke called Huckleberry Finn or something like that. It's a Scottish bloke from Aberdeen, Aberdeen and Arsenal fan, playing Football Manager, and we raided him. And
nice.
2 of his people followed us back, Rieva, 1892, and Graham, 74 Yates. So if any of those turn up, never know, they might be Arsenal fans. But I was saying to John before the show started, I am ankle deep in Football Manager. I've had the game 3 weeks. I'm up to 175 hours. Possibly after last night, about 182 hours, 3 o'clock this morning, power cut, 7-0 up in a friendly. Lasted 5 minutes, come back.
Is that with the ABW squad that you were 7-0?
No, I am still working on that. The gist of it is you need to edit everything, and you can only edit some parts post-game and some parts pre-game, but when you do it pre-game, you can only have 24 players, and I want more than 24 of us. So then I have to go and make the play people, and then make them free to put them in, because I don't want your history to say, like, if I put you all at Barnet and then went in-game and then moved you all across, you'd be at Barnet. So I have to make you free agents, and then hopefully you don't get moved. So I'm working on it. I'm going to have all of your Twitter pictures as your avatar on there as well. But we're all going to start on a level playing field. So it's going to be interesting. Daniel Gordon in Florida, another Gooner. Hopefully we're going to get him on sometime this season. He's going to come on and say hello. Phil Mack. I don't know what's going on with my voice, people. I think my balls have dropped. Phil Mack is there. Mr. Bob Lex again. And then Nicolau. This Mudrick deal is making me age faster. I like to call him the Ukrainian duck, because I'm sure that is an anagram of duck. D-U-K. Yeah, duck. Lovely. BX is there. Hello, BX. Seen you in plenty of podcasts recently. Pete Coulson. Our very own Mr. Cactus Cash. How you doing, Richard? Nice to see you. And Sai is there. I'm very sleepy at 1 p.m. Is that okay? You have a little nap, and I'll wake you up when the show's done. Ray Anderson in sunny Jamaica is there. Hello, Ray. Hello, everyone.
Very, very jealous of that.
Ida is there now. Then I think is Finland or Iceland. It's one of the two. I'm going to go Finland. Ida, I asked you the other day on Twitter if you've been using BitTorrent. If you do use BitTorrent, and then I will give you a link where you can just go and download every single game after it's finished in HD. But don't tell anyone. If the authorities are watching, I'm making this up. Ida, don't do that. Matt D'Souza is there. Hello, Matt. How are you, Matt? And also Matt, a double Matt. I think we have money for that. Matt Roberts is there, and Daniel said to be on any time. Sinar is there. Hello, Sinar. And Sai says, Danny, why don't you upload your gaming shenanigans to you? That is the plan. I am going to, but it's going to take forever. No one's going to watch a 6-hour show of me screaming at Stan playing that. Why do you fucking miss that, Stan? What are you doing? Anyway, we've wasted 7 minutes of these people's lives. Tonight's game is Arsenal v Newcastle, the two surprise teams of the Premier League this season. If you want to watch it, it's going to be on Sky Sports main event. It's going to be on Sky Sports Premier League, Sky Sports HD, and BBC Radio 5 are going to do a commentary of it. Oh, look, Bulgarian Goon is there. Drago, Ala Cheeky, and Loki is there in PE something secret. So that's got. What country, John? Shall I look for?
Romania.
Romania. That is on Digi Online, Prima Play, Prima Sport 1, and my favourite, Digi Sport 1 Romania. I do like the name of my country to be in the channel that I am watching. Injuries, John. Jesus not back, and they reckon he's not going to be back until end of March.
Well, I think he might be training maybe end of Feb, but yeah, I would guess March would be the first time we'll probably see him. Depends how quick he recovers. That's very much a Dom question.
Oh, how is Dom? He changed his number and didn't give me the new one, so
I haven't. I actually only noticed he changed it the other day because I hadn't heard from him for ages and then got a message. Yeah, he seemed all right. I haven't spoken to him too much. In true Dom fashion, every time he talks about the games at the moment, all he says is my beans are fizzing. So he's very happy.
Fizzy beans. I mean, what else can a man ask for in these cold, dark winter nights? It's summer there, isn't it? Smith Rowe, groin, hip, pelvic injury, December the 30th, a quote. He's made big steps in the last week. He took part in some training sessions and looked good. We're hoping to have him back soon. That is going to be a major addition to the squad, having him back, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know whether we'll see him on the bench tonight or not, but it might be a little bit too soon. But I could see him maybe getting a run out if he's ready is it Oxford we've got in the FA Cup?
Yeah, Oxford, who are currently, I think they're about 12th in League One, which is the third tier of English football.
Yeah, so maybe that would be the game that he starts in as his first game back or something like that. Yeah.
And the final, we've got Reiss Nelson, thigh injury, 22nd of December. Reiss, unfortunately, he picked up an injury in the game against Juventus. That was a mid-season friendly, and he is going to be out for a while, I think. So that's not good. But shame for him because he had that run of a couple of games where he was he looked good, didn't he?
he was playing well and getting goals and stuff. And I mean, some players, sort of burst into the team later than others. I think people had kind of given up on him because they saw how well Saka and Smith Rowe had done at a younger age. But there might still be a player in there. Whether he's going to be long-term at Arsenal, I don't know. But whatever happens with him, I hope he has a decent career because he wants to play for us. So if he's good enough, then hopefully it'll happen.
Ray, do you say you use BitTorrent? Oh, well, if anybody wants it, you have to keep it secret though, because I don't ever want it getting shut down. All you have to do is click the little thing and it will download it and has all the games about an hour or so after they've been up. There's 34 people watching us on the YouTube. How many likes do you think we got, John? Without looking.
I'm going to say 6.
We've actually got 10.
Wow. Okay.
That's not enough.
I underestimated.
If we get 1,000 likes, we shall live stream the entire show and have the game on YouTube, so you can watch the game. If we get 1,000 likes, John, we will. That's what we'll do. BX says on the US network from the east coast of the USA. Grant is there. Hello, Grant. How are you? Cheers, boys. Top of the table. It certainly is. Mr. Boblex, I'll be drinking with a Geordie watching the match tonight. Now, we all know I'm an accent racist. I've been to Accent Racist Anonymous, and they try to beat it out of me. But I love a Geordie accent because on a woman, they're proper naughty. I like them to swear at me. It's ridiculous, isn't it? There's only Geordie birds out there that want to squash me and whisper and swear at me in my ear in a Geordie accent.
So you want a big tall Geordie bird to step on you basically and swear at you while she's doing it.
It's not a naughty thing, but I used to get Sean's on just to lay on top of me. Then years later, you find out people get these blankets, don't they? Heavy blankets. It's not a rude thing. It would be fully naked, fully clothed. Just lay on top of me. I just found it. Cause sleep. We could do it now. I'd fucking die. Paul Nell, not Neil, is there. Oi, oi. Grant Wilborn, Newcastle can fuck off. Tom Andrew, that's a name I recognise. How are you? Loki, remember Geordie Jeans? No, I don't. Ray Anderson, anybody from Newcastle injured? There's Ray doing.
There is a few. So Target, Dummett, Kraft, Shelby, and Isaac is out injured still for them.
And Kraft, whoever that is.
Yeah. So
that's good. That's because he had 2 in 3, didn't he?
Yeah, he started quite well, but then picked up that injury. But I think the thing I'm most interested in the game tonight is I don't think there'll be any big changes in the team. It will be most likely what we saw. It's who's going to start at left back.
For us or
for us.
Who do you think should do?
So for me, I think we have better control of the ball when Zinchenko plays, but I think defensively Tierney is better than Zinchenko. And just because of how well Almiron is playing for them, I think I'd go for Tierney. I don't think there's a lot between the two players. They're slightly different styles, obviously, and they give us different things when going forwards. And it makes Xhaka play slightly different as well, depending on who's there. But I just think just because of how well Almiron's playing, I think I'd probably start Tierney. But I wouldn't be worried if he started Zinchenko. It's not like oh God, you're starting the wrong player. But yeah, I think that'll be interesting to see what Arteta does with that. As for the rest of the team, I imagine it will be the same as the. Who did we play last? God, my brain. West Ham. No, Brighton, wasn't it? Yeah. I imagine the rest of the team will be the same as the Brighton game.
We got away. Have you watched last night's podcast yet?
No, I haven't. No.
We got away with showing the setup for the goal for that no-look pass from Odegaard when he was facing the wrong direction. We played it, got away with it. No one tell YouTube, for fuck's sake. Well, actually, I'm going to go and check see if they did. No, still fully monetized. 339. Remember the days, John, when we used to get 5,000 or 6,000 per YouTube?
Oh, yeah.
That's because there's so many people out there now just doing top quality stuff. We can't compete.
We're a bit slack on that. Yeah.
Awful. Daniel says, isn't Trippier out on the cards too? He's one of their most important players, but I think he might be out. Matt D'Souza says, Shelby, God, that's a blast from the past. Forgot about him. Right, let's go and have a look at some of the previous results. We had won 8 in a row against Newcastle, all competitions, until that 2-0 loss May this year, which I've completely forgotten about. But we were only talking about the home game against Newcastle in the Premier League. So the last time we played them, 27th of November 2021, we beat them 2-0. Goals from Saka and Martinelli. And the lineup was Ramsdale, Gabriel, and Ben White at the back. Nuno Tavares, the Marseille legend, left back. Tomiyasu, right back. Saka, Odegaard, and Smith Rowe, and Aubameyang up front. So it must have been Partey and Lokonga in midfield.
Yeah.
Don't really remember that.
But this will be. I mean, this will be a really good test. I know people are worried about, the North London derby. Personally, I'm not remotely worried about that. But Newcastle are the only other team, along with Man City, who are in the same sort of form as us, realistically. They're playing very well at the moment. They press really well. They can sit deep and hit you on the counter, which obviously the way we condense the pitch, that will be spacing behind. And, Saliba has looked a little bit rusty, I think, since coming back from the World Cup, just because he hadn't played, if anything. I don't think it's him in poor form necessarily. I just think it's a case of he didn't really have any game time. Hopefully he's, we've got all those kinks out that we did in the Brighton game, because we did look a little bit shaky at the back. But going forward, I was really worried when Jesus got that injury. But Nketiah, I think, has done really well. He's been scoring goals, getting himself in the right position, linking up play, holding the ball up well. And, I mean, Saka, Martinelli have just kept their form that they started the season with. And Odegaard has just gone to another level. Some of the stuff he's been doing in the last few games, it's just been
naughty.
Yeah, I mean, the pass for Martinelli was one. The bit of skill with the sort of no-look back heel nutmeg thing between two players, and like all these sorts of little things. And his feet are unbelievable. I mean, when we first got him, I thought his feet were quick, but then this season he just seems to have stepped it up again. And it kind of reminds me, I don't know, it's not quite Santi Cazorla, because Cazorla wouldn't necessarily like nutmeg people. We'd do little body feints and things like that. But Odegaard just seems to be able to roll the ball forward, then snap it back so quickly that players just make mistakes. And it's kind of like, do you remember when we first got Nasri and how no one could get him off the ball? And he just looked, and his hips would just turn ridiculous, and you couldn't quite understand it. He reminds me a little bit of that in the way that he can move the ball about. So Newcastle got a real problem in trying to deal with him. But I could imagine Joel Linton will probably try and go through Odegaard as hard as possible very early on in the match. And it'll be interesting to see what treatment Saka gets as well, because he's still not getting enough protection from referees, in my opinion. But there we go.
We were talking about that on a show last night, saying that if only the FA would tell the referees to make sure they look after Saka like they've been looking after Harry Kane for the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years. Yeah. Because Saka is the future of England and Arsenal, and he isn't. But it's ridiculous. They're just talking about who was it? It was Matt D'Souza says, do you think that Saka and Xhaka will be conscious of picking up a card and missing the North London derby? So I just had a look. Premier League only this season. Saka's on 4 yellows, Saliba 4, Jesus 4, which doesn't matter. Ben White, Gabriel are on 3, and Xhaka, Odegaard, Partey are on 2. How has Saka got 4 yellow cards? He doesn't do anything.
Yeah, I'm not sure how Saka's on 4. The thing is, it's really hard to tell a player to hold back in the way they challenge, especially in a game like this. This is going to be probably our hardest game so far this season. I would think, and it'll be good football as well. And it'll be very good football from both teams. It's going to be, there probably will be bits in it where it's sort of end to end, and that's that kind of thing. So I don't think you can really tell him to hold back, or Saliba, to be honest. It's just the way they play and the way we press as well. You know, Saka's going to be right up there pressing with the rest of the team. I think you just have to go out there and play your game. If you get a yellow card, it's it's really bad, but there's not a lot you can do about it. To answer Stefan's question, would the suspension count for the FA Cup? No, it doesn't count for the FA Cup. It would only count for the league.
See, the way it used to be, all three competitions would all be separate, and then they were all the same. And I'm sure I heard someone say now that the FA Cup is included because it's run by the FA Premier League, but the League Cup isn't.
Yeah. So if he gets booked tonight, it only counts for the league. If they get a red card, then it would count for the FA Cup.
Fuck's sake.
So it's very weird how it works. I'm not sure why they've changed it. I swear they change it all the time, like the rulings and everything on it. But yeah, I don't think you can tell him to play within himself. I think he's just got to go out there and play his game. Do you remember how worried we were about Jesus all that time? He was on 4 yellows. We were like, oh, don't get booked in this game because you're going to miss Liverpool. And then he got through that, and he got through the Liverpool game without even picking up a booking as well, because we were like worried about the next game. And so, yeah, I think we can do well. And I still think he can play his game without getting booked. Do we know who the referee is tonight for the game? Let's have a look.
No, I don't.
It is Madley.
Is that good? Was that Richard Madley?
No, not Richard Madley. No, he's too busy getting mugged off by Mick Lynch. Andy Madley. Andy Madley is the. Is this he gave? Richard. I'm looking at his record. Ooh, this is spicy. In the Man City Everton game, he had 7 yellow cards he dished out.
Shit.
And then what else we got here? Fourth official. Palace Fulham, 2 yellows, 2 reds. Sunderland Birmingham, 6 yellows.
Sounds like that Spanish referee at the World Cup who then come back and did the same at Barcelona game.
To be fair, Tottenham Liverpool, he didn't book anyone. So you never know. Yeah.
Richard Cactus Cash says Saka has been booked 4 times, but players have only received 1 yellow for a foul on him.
Yeah, that's very weird. If you see some of the tackles he takes,
and look who's there. It's the Canadian legend.
OG. I'm glad he's enjoying the beard.
Yes,
I miss OG.
My one is through. I can't reach it more than anything else because I am absolutely knackered. June can't come soon enough, and I get that miracle cure. Oh, if I make it that long. Pete Coulson asks, who else is worried that Conte will be sacked before we can get hold of the Spuds in 12 days?
I don't think they're going to sack him yet. I do think he'll get sacked eventually because he's stalling on a contract. He wants a lot more money and he wants a lot more money to spend. And I don't think Daniel Levy will give it to him. And the players must be pretty miserable by now playing that football. Like it works in Italy and you can win a league with it. It's not very exciting, as me and Danny can attest to, as in Milan fans. It does work, but it's not exciting to watch and it's not particularly exciting to play. And if you are, I mean, I know people have said this for a few years now, but if you're Harry Kane, you must be thinking, I really should have pushed for that Man City move now.
Indeed. Another podcast first. We have a Stefan and then we have another Stefan. First time ever. In 10 seasons of doing Arsenal podcast, we have had a back-to-back Stefans. Are you related, you two? That's all we need to know. Super is at his mum's house in West Des Moines, Iowa. Isn't that one of those states you fly over?
Des Moines, that's where Slipknot are from, Danny.
I have Sexy Frank, loves a bit of Slipknot, has no idea what they're saying. Looking at him, you never think he's listened to any kind of music. And he used to have his Mercedes CLK 55 AMG. With a plate V8 FMP, that was his initials. I found that for him, and he would listen to Slipknot really loud with the roof down.
Oh, lovely. Well, I now, because I'm such a metrosexual, have a little Fiat 500, and I drive around listening to Slipknot and lots of death metal and everything, and look very strange. People get extremely confused when I get out of that tiny little car and there's very loud, angry music playing.
Mr. Boblek says, seems like Twitch is down. Restart your app or whatever you're watching on, because I'm looking at it on the PC and it's working fine. And there is 3 people watching on Twitch. Hello to you, although 2 of them are probably me and the other one is you, Mr. Boblex. Stefan Mark 2 says, listening from sunny Devon. Can't wait for the match. Not long now. That's our very own Chris. He's in Plymouth, Devon. That's all the same kind of area. I consider anywhere north of Peterborough the north as all the same. Matt D'Souza, my most memorable win over Newcastle when Tim Krul was time wasting like fuck. Then Vermaelen scored late on, and suddenly Krul was rushing like mad.
Yeah, I remember that one. It's England get number 2 goalkeeper shootout as well tonight, isn't it? Because it's Ramsdale versus Pope.
It certainly is. Going a little quick back at the last but one time we played them at the Emirates, we beat them 3-0, 18th of January 2021. 2 goals from Aubameyang, 1 from Saka. And in that lineup, Bernd gone, Luiz gone, and Aubameyang and Lacazette gone and gone. And then coming on as the sub was Willian gone. So there's quite a few changes there. And the final one we're going to do, we always go back 3 games. The 16th of February 2020, 4-0 the Arsenal. Steve Bruce was their manager. Aubameyang 54th, Pepe 57th, and then Ozil and Lacazette both scored in the 90th minute. So that is only just under 3 years away. Leno's gone, Bellerin, Mustafi, Luiz, Ceballos, Ozil, Aubameyang, and Torreira, and Lacazette, and Willock. Out of the 14 players that we used that day, 10 have gone. Wow. And the ones that are on the bench, Socrates has gone, Martinez has gone, Kolasinac is gone, and Lacazette has gone. We included him. That is a hell of a turnaround, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Arteta should get was he manager then? He was manager then. Mm-hmm. So in almost 3 years, he's managed to get rid of almost everybody, and most of them, quite frankly, John, were troublemakers, weren't they?
Yeah. Well, if we go with statistically how we've played so far at home this season, in theory, we should win this game. I think it's like 3.41.
That'll do me.
I'm not sure how you get 0.4 of a goal. I've probably done the maths wrong, but it's something like that.
Well, let's round it up and call it 4-0. 4-1.
Yeah, 4-1. I'll take a 4-1. That's fine with me. I'll take a 4-1 all day long. Yeah. It's going to be a really good game. I'm just hoping that because Newcastle, obviously, they've got the 0-0, hopefully they tire themselves out a bit in the Leeds game, trying to chase down the win. And I know, obviously, people are worried about our squad size, but Newcastle's is even tighter than ours in terms of being able to rotate. Like, their key players have to play every single game. So
yeah, they do. And they've managed to do it without going full Man City, full Chelsea, have they? They haven't bought any.
Yeah. No, I think they've balanced it right so far. But yeah, we will see what happens, because, like you said, if they get an injury to someone like Trippier or Guimaraes or Joe Linton, they lose a lot of their team. They've got 3 or 4 really, Almiron being another one, obviously. They've got 3 or 4 really key players who, if they lose one of them, the drop-off is quite big for them.
In his first 3.5 seasons at Newcastle, Almiron got 9 goals. And this season, in, I think, 16 games, he's got 9 goals. I mean, the turnaround for that. Did you ever watch him play in MLS? He was
he was great. And he obviously just needed the right manager to get the performances out of him. So fair play to Eddie Howe for that.
Of which Steve Bruce was not the man. Jeff says there is troubles with Twitch, so I should be grateful I can see myself. If you lot can put your predictions in the chat, then I'm gonna go and save them, and then, like we do with questions, and I'll go through them all at the end of the show. So put them in whenever you want. I forgot about the team sheets.
They should just be coming out any second, right?
I should go and have a look for that. Idor says, is that a D? Or is that an O? I think that's an O. Idor. How do you say that, Mr. Marvin? Let me know how you say it phonetically. Bob Licks, got a friend who streams and he can't access Twitch at the moment. Oh, that's a bit shit. Super. Says 2 Stephans and a Stephen. That's me real name. Your name is 2 Stephens and a Stephans and a Stephen. That is a very long name. That's very confusing. Phil says we had a turnover that DIY SOS would be proud of. Let's see what you've done there. Going to save that one from there. Stefan says Newcastle knackered at the end of the Leeds game. Matt says, how will Zinchenko versus Almiron work out? It is weird, isn't it? When you see Zinchenko play, he immediately starts playing as an inverted winger. Thank you very much, Josh, for explaining that to me. But Tierney doesn't do it. Tierney is the
he has gone to play inside a lot more than he initially did, but he obviously isn't as comfortable doing it. But I think that's the only question mark I have over the lineup as who starts at left back in the game. Because I do think Tierney is slightly better defensively, but I think we have better control of the ball when Zinchenko plays than Tierney. So the balance is slightly different.
The annoying thing about trying to go and find these is that I've got Arsenal blocked, only so I don't see the propaganda. And if they're following 20.9 million and none of them is me or the podcast, then quite frankly, it's sickening. Adrian Clark is log on from 6:45 p.m. live commentary and analysis. So there you go. Go and support Adrian Clark. Very, very nice bloke. There's a woman next to him who I don't recognise, so I'm not sure what to say about that. So yeah, I'm now refreshing their page. So when it comes up, don't ruin the surprise, John. I will go and get it, and then I'll put it up on the screen, and you can tell the boys and girls, mums and dads, cats and dogs.
Oh, I don't know if I thought the team news came out an hour before kickoff, but maybe it's not going to.
What time's kickoff? Oh no, it'll be in 5 minutes. It will be.
Yeah, isn't kickoff 7:45, isn't it?
Yeah. So we've got 5 minutes to wait. I knew there was some reason why I started it this time.
Yeah. All right. Well, do you want to do everyone's predictions whilst we're doing the 5 minutes, and I can give you mine as well because I take part in a prediction league from my old job that I'm still in, and I'm currently second on the leaderboard for the whole season.
The person who's winning it, what team do they support?
Let me have a look. And the person who is top is also an Arsenal fan, so it's perfect.
Were they sad to see you go? Did they ever watch the show?
They did watch a little bit.
This doesn't sound like too much swearing.
Yeah, they said there was too much swearing. So,
bullshit.
Yeah. My prediction I put in for the game was 3-1 to Arsenal. That's what yeah.
I'm just scrolling through because somebody put some of their predictions in earlier on in the show. There it is, Mr. Boblex. I've just been scrolling through trying to find your one. It's looking. There we go. We've got Grant's there. We've got Ryan. Hello, Ryan from the Mr. Arsenal podcast. No, I'll do that one. I do not that one again. It's moved. This one. Go and have a look at Mr. Ryan, Mr. Arsenal podcast on YouTube. Ryan does live commentary, watch-alongs of every show of every Arsenal game and the ladies' game. It's a very interesting channel, and also does a really good quiz, which I couldn't make this year because in January because I had the child there. Here we've got loads. Right, let's go and have a look. We've got 11 of your predictions. So, John, you say you're going 3-1?
I've got 3-1. Yeah, that's what I've put in my app.
I think I'm going to go. Actually, I need to go and look. I'm going to do a little bit of cheating here. I haven't got the score, but I'm going to go and have a look at Newcastle, and then I'm going to look at fixtures, and then I'm going to look at Premier League, and then I'm going to go to away. They beat Leicester 3-0, Southampton 4-1, Spurs 2-0, 0-0 at Man United, beat Newcastle 4-1, and they lost 2-1 at Liverpool, 1-1 at Newcastle, at Wolves, and 0-0 at Brighton. I mean, sort of 7, 8, 9 goals they've scored in the last 3 away games. I think it's going to be a slobber knocker. I'm going to go 4-2. And I reckon we'll be on for. They'll go ahead early on.
Another 4-2. Oh. Well.
Right, I'm just highlighting the things. Right, here we go. Going to do your predictions. First is Loki. He's going to go 3-1 win. Martinelli tearing it up. Stefan Selby 3-1. Mr. Boblex 3-1. Martinelli open the scoring. Pete Coulson 1-0 to the Arsenal. A nerve shredder. Odie scores. Bill Oddie's coming on and scoring. Mr. Boblex already had that one. Grant Wilborn 3-2 to the Arsenal. Ryan 2-0 to the Arsenal. Phil Macker 2-0. Eddie and Saka. The Irish Beast. I don't think there'll be many goals. Perhaps 2-0 Arsenal. Matt D'Souza, 0-0 half-time, 2-1 full-time. Stefan White, Arsenal 3-1. Cena is going to go 2-1 the Arsenal. Mr. Mercury, 2-1 Arsenal, a bit of squeaky bum time. Jim Eves is going 3-0. So many of you doing this. Kate is here. We were waiting until you got here, Kate. We've not done anything. Kate is going 3-2 in Arsenal. Daniel in Florida is going 4-0 game. Don't talk the 4-0 game. And the wisest man we know. Hello, OG. Are you receiving? OG, over. That's how I start all of my messages to him. He's gone 2-1 the Arsenal. Has the lineup's out yet? Oh, no, it's not 45.
No.
Is it? I've tried milking it. Can you juggle? Do you know any good jokes?
None that I can say on YouTube.
No, definitely. Sai's got a question. We seem unformidable right now, but when are we getting our second loss? 5-0 loss to Newcastle. Sai, you're a very bad man. He does this all the time. You're quite frankly, Sai, you're a bit of a shit.
Yeah, no, I think we're going to lose again at some point. And I mean in the league. I'm not talking about cup competitions either. That's Jeff just saying that he got the message, not that he thinks the score's going to be 10-4. He maybe is predicting. He might be predicting 10-4. Who knows?
10-4 back.
Yeah. I mean, it will come, and I think the point is it's how we react to the loss. Like the Man United game, we lost when we shouldn't have, and it was probably one of our better performances of the season, and we threw it away. We should have really won that game, but it happens. Every team has, has those low points, and I think from the difference from last season where we'd lose a game and then we'd sort of lose 1, 2, 3, in a row before we got our shit back together and started playing properly again. I'm hoping that we continue the trend we've got this season, that if we do get a loss, we bounce back straight away and get back on the horse, so to speak, and keep the wins coming. So that's the big thing for me. I think the mentality shift in the team is very different, and I think missing out on top 4 last season really hurt a lot of those players. You saw, I'm sure some people saw the Arteta interview with Jamie Carragher on Sky Sports, and he was talking about he had his plan for 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, and where the club should be and everything. And everyone really knows that, we're ahead of schedule of where we should be, as the plan goes along. If we compete for the league all the way to the end of the season, we're definitely ahead of schedule. This season was supposed to be secure top 4, have a deep run in Europe, maybe see if we can win the FA Cup and the Europa League or something like that, and then maybe do 2 years in the Champions League and then start pushing for the title. But as it stands right now, we're way ahead of schedule. So if they can keep that mentality going and we keep adding quality players to it, and hopefully we get some in January, then who knows what will happen this season.
Do you think we can win the title? I do.
I mean, it's there for us. It depends who we can bring in terms of reinforcements. If Mudrik, I don't know how to say it. I'll have to ask my Ukrainian friend how you're supposed to pronounce it.
It's the duck. That's all you need to know.
I'll ask how you pronounce the duck's name. If we can get him over the line and one other, then I think we've got a real chance. Obviously, a lot will depend on what sort of condition Jesus comes back in and what his form's like when he's back. And keeping players fit. But if we can get the Duck and someone else, probably in midfield, probably central midfield, in January, then I don't see why we can't go for it. I mean, it's kind of, you would have never said at the start of the season you could lose both games to Man City and still be a point ahead of them. That's insane. You would never have thought that. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, I don't want to lose either of the games to Man City, but to be in that position already is kind of nuts. So, I think you just have to, as fans, be as excited and happy and everything as you want to be about it and love every minute of it. Don't let anyone tell you can't enjoy it. Screw that. enjoy every single second of it. But the players, obviously, and the manager are keeping it very next game. That's all we're thinking about. Just keep going and just keep trying to get the wins. Like tonight, we could play awful. If we get 3 points, don't care. If we get 3 points, that's all I care about. Just keep the consistency going.
I've put the lineup in our private chat. It's the same as the Brighton one.
It is the same. Okay, so he's gone with Zinchenko. I mean, it doesn't overly surprise me. I think I might have gone for Tierney, but we'll see how they deal with Almiron and what exact plan they've got for him. Because I'm sure Arteta's not stupid. They'll definitely have a plan for Almiron and the way he's playing and the form he's in.
Good. I don't wonder why they've not updated their. Oh, here we go. As soon as I didn't know that. Anyway, save image, plagiarize image, save it there, and then go and bring it up on the screen.
Someone called Butler Odegaard is on the bench. Who I don't know who that is.
Probably going to be a legendary star for us. There you go. Yeah. That's what we all wanted to see.
Who is Butler Odegaard? Well, that's someone I'm going to have to look up now.
You know, Lokonga has been on the bench for, I think, 8 of the last 9 games and not even got a single minute.
Well, I suspect that young man might be either out on loan or sold come the summer.
Carl was saying we'd like to see him. Well, I said it at the end of last year. When we were last doing shows, I said it'd be nice because if he could team up again with Vincent Kompany at Burnley, playing beautiful football. He already knows him. He was managing him at, was it Anderlecht?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so that'd be a really good move for him because they are running away with
maybe a loan next season if we do bring in a centre mid this window. Might be the best for him. Butler Odegaard is a forward. Plays centre forward, can also play left or right wing. So in Premier League 2, he has 11 appearances, 1 goal, 1 assist. But it looks like he's only just started playing. Date of birth, oh God, how old does that make him? What's 2003? I can't do the maths anymore. It's so confusing.
Well, it's 5 years younger than
So what's he? He's 20. He is 20 tomorrow.
Oh,
yeah.
Isn't it some other Arsenal player's birthday today?
It might be. Is this a trick question?
No. No, I'm going to go and find out because we were doing it yesterday. I went, it's his birthday tomorrow. But they've got all their things on date of birth. Oh, here we go. We're looking for January. You won't get this kind of content anywhere else. 26th of January. No, that's not it. Maybe it's a player from another team then. I'm sure we said it's his birthday tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my dad's birthday in a few days. I haven't bought him a card in many a year.
Lovely. What a cheery note. Shall we wrap up then and let the lovely people go and watch their whatever it is that they watch before the game? I can't watch it myself, but yeah.
Why?
Oh no, I mean I just can't bring myself to watch it. It does what I do, all the analysis stuff. I'll watch Adrian Clark and stuff like that, but I can't watch Sky or anyone like that. They're just annoying.
Oh no, I was saying to Sophie the other day. I said I turn on at 1 minute before the game starts, and I turn off at the moment the game ends because you've got so many morons who shouldn't be. Apart from Kelly Cates and Ian Wright and a couple of others, they are all irritating scumbags. So. Thank you very much, everybody who's watching. If you are new, feel free to subscribe. It does help. It doesn't really make any difference. If you'd like to give it a thumbs up, that really helps. It also makes no difference. And what I want you to do is get the link for this video and go and share all with your entire contacts on your phone and your email address and write it on a bit of paper. Put it through the letterbox of everybody on your estate where you live within a mile in every direction. And then they will love you.
Just put Andrew Tate as one of the hashtags and it will get like 2 million views.
What a prick. Yes. So that's all, John. I'm going to be back at the show after the game tonight. It's going to be Cactus Cash. He's joining me. Richard if he can get his set up to work, which would be lovely. Otherwise, it'd just be me on my own. But fingers crossed, and he'll be in the bookcase room, which would be lovely. So thank you very much for joining me, John. You've been an absolute dream.
Yeah, pleasure as always, mate. It's nice to be back, and I should be on regular pods and after game shows and all sorts from now on, as I've now finally moved. So
good. And should we have the Steve and Dave outro or the Anfield 89 outro?
Oh, Steve and Dave. Yeah.
And we can have a little. I've got Steve speaking here. We're just going to play this.
Splendid business.
Thank you, Steve. Always wise words. I've got the wording and the money for the plaques for Dave Goonaholic and Steve Lord Hillwood, but Arsenal's website are not currently taking orders. But hopefully by the summer we will have those two plaques, the biggest ones they do outside the Emirates, and hopefully next to each other. And then everyone can go there.
That'd be lovely.
Give it a little nod. Yeah. Yes. So right, we'll be back about 5 minutes ish after the game ends. Come on, you Gunners. Now I've got to end the show. No, I don't. I do this.
As soon as I scored that goal, I was fucking livid. Get down, dog. Splendid business.
You nearly caught the bloody thing. What are you talking about?
So I was just eating a full quiche. Well, you don't often see them at Ibs, so when you see them in the supermarket, they need to be swagged, microwaved immediately, and get the brown sauce on and bosh, Bob's your uncle.
Never in doubt.